It looks like a special treat was left out for me. Ooh, these cookies look good, and they're totally for me. Nom 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 nom. Well, here you go. Whack job. Santa came. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy Life Day from Austin's Animals, where we collect all things furry, and today, furry and cartoon and fun, because we've got our, cold weather, Christmas commercials are on, I've got my Rudolph action figures here we're going to look at, and reflect on, because it's kind of the time of reflecting. How was your year this year? I made it up all the way to the finalist to have my leg modeled for this year's sexy leg lamp. Unfortunately, I didn't make it.
What a great lamp.
May my legs shine again next year, and you have a great 2023. But Christmas is about reflecting, and looking back upon the things that made Christmas warm to us. I watched these stop-motion rankinbass specials all the time on TV, and I'm sure you did too. What network did you watch it on? Because for me, it was ABC Family. They always aired these Christmas specials this time of year, and while ABC Family was really just relegated to the place America's Funniest Home Videos was on most of the time, Christmas was different. They always had Christmas movies and specials, and it was worth checking out. Cartoon Network was also good for Christmas, but they would kind of get the leftovers. If you wanted to watch the name brand Christmas stuff, your Grinches and your Rankin-Bass, your Rudolph, your Frosty, it was on ABC Family. Can you tell I was a pretty introverted kid? I would just keep the TV on and watch cartoons like all day. Even if I wasn't actively watching it, I just had it on in the background. So for me, Christmas always kind of brings back those warm memories of just playing with my action figures and watching cartoons all day, and not having to worry about school. Now, these Rankin-Bass action figures I actually didn't have as a kid. I remember them being pretty expensive. They were stocked at places like Toys R Us, Kmart, and Suncoast Video, and they kind of occupy a nice space between kids' toys and collectibles. They're clearly collector-focused. They have really nice details and amazing sculpts, and as we look at the individual figures, you will see that. But they're also not like, your NECA figures. They're not brittle or fragile. These are like thick, sturdy toys that are meant to withstand child's play. This line started all the way back in 2000, as the Rankin-Bass specials were starting to really pick up in popularity as they aired on cable channels like ABC Family, and this line went on for a long time. I only have a fraction of the line. Or should I say, I have a couple of nice pieces here that good old Santa brought me, so let's take a look at these cool figures. I mentioned this line of figures being absolutely massive, and here on the left we actually have a figure from Peter Cottontail, the Easter Rankin-Bass special. That's a figure really for another time to look at, but I just wanted to show how all these figures have such amazing texture to them. If you look at these two figures, you can see they've got a rough fur texture all the way down that emulates the look of the stop-motion puppets. And Clarice here even has eyebrows that are fabric. They're material. This line used mixed media flawlessly to really get the idea across that these were puppets. They almost look like mini replicas of the puppets, and that is amazing given they are just action figures. Now, Clarice comes with her critters, her kind of woodland animals that sing, "There's always tomorrow," yeah, you know that song, to kind of pad her out and give that figure a little more value, since she is smaller than the other figures. I only have the one critter, so just imagine some others, so she can kind of sing to Rudolph and be like, "Be happy, Rudolph." So anyways, Rudolph here, this is the adult Rudolph, not the kid Rudolph, and I really like this figure. I'm a big fan of this. I've always liked adult Rudolph's design, which is kind of a shame because he's not used again with the exception of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. They just kept him as a kid in Shiny New Year for whatever reason. But this, again, is a wonderful figure. His nose did originally light up if you put some batteries in him. Nicely articulated. You can see the battery slot there. So, pretty cool. Just a great figure of Rudolph. Probably my favorite Rudolph figure of them all, because they've made a lot of Rudolph figures over the years, different companies have, but this one I just really like. So up next we have the coach, and this guy is so great. I love this character. He's just so heartless, and he's kind of like, Rudolph, you're different than the others, you gotta measure up to the other reindeers, Rudolph. And they really just captured that character perfectly. I love his little whistle that actually fits in his mouth, because, he blows that whistle a lot and it's loud. I love his little cap they modeled. I don't know why a reindeer would have any need for a baseball cap that barely covers his head, but it just kind of instantly tells you that this guy is a no-nonsense coach that is like the embodiment of every bad PE teacher I've had in high school. This guy right here. Poor Rudolph is just trying to make it, as a reindeer, and this guy's like, say, Rudolph, you're a complete failure, and you're different, and you're never gonna make it. And Rudolph's like, you suck, you're gonna traumatize me for the rest of my life. Clarice's like, the therapy bills are gonna be terrible because of how much you've traumatized him. Well, I toughened you up, didn't I say? Sam the Snowman might be the most iconic thing in Rudolph that isn't Rudolph himself, He just kind of sings and goes silver and gold, and it's 4 lives, So this is a great figure that, again, captures the puppet perfectly. I love the little dots he's got all over him, like little imperfections and blemishes in the snow, and then the wrinkles in his outfit. Like, it's not as clean cut as you would expect it to be. And the sculpting on this figure is just absolutely phenomenal. The articulation has been seamlessly incorporated into the figure. He's actually really articulated, but they hid all of the joints in the wrinkles of his shirt, which is just so cool. And obviously he has no trouble standing since he's got such a nice bass. But he doesn't play bass, he plays banjo, which he can hold and sort of play his music and kind of go around and sing. So yeah, this is a great figure. Not only if you're a Rudolph fan, but also if you're a fan of Elf, since he has a pretty prominent role in Elf. And yes, he does tip his hat, like in the special, so he's got a bit of an action feature there that is seamlessly incorporated into the figure. And I love that. I love action features on toys that fit the character. So this one's a lot of fun. He makes for a great piece to any Christmas collection. And if anyone out there has the pretty rare NECA Buddy the Elf figure, please pose the 2 of these figures together. I would love to see how they scale, because they would look so good. And also because, aside from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Elf is awesome. So this is an odd one here. This is Frosty the Snowman's daughter from Christmas in July, a Rankin-Bass Rudolph movie that nobody saw. There was a big box office flop, and nobody remembers. I can't believe they made this toy. It is so odd. But she was included as part of a Frosty the Snowman family gift set. If you look on the back there, she is by Just Play. So she's by a different company that made a Frosty the Snowman gift set that was made to be compatible with the Rudolph figures. So pretty cool. I would love to have the whole Frosty family, but sadly I just have the daughter. I found her in a 25-cent bin at a flea market. Now, if there was ever to be an action figure of me, not in my fursuit, it would be this one of Yukon Cornelius. I'll admit it, I look like Yukon Cornelius, I know. I also look like Mr. Beast, and I've heard that in the comments a lot. I didn't even know what a Mr. Beast was, but he's basically Gen Z Yukon Cornelius. This figure is awesome. That's not his original gun, that's some other gun I put there, but he did actually come with a cool gun and headphones and snowshoes and all this great stuff that everyone lost, so he's kind of tough to find with his accessories. But he can be like, you caused emotional damage to Rudolph. Say, I just toughened the boy up. What, are you gonna shoot me with that gun? And then, you can have Yukon Cornelius attack the coach, because why not? Playing Mantis was not the largest toy company, but they did absolutely have the largest love for this Christmas special. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer action figure lines from the 2000s might just be one of the most definitive, complete, and accurate 6-inch action figure lines ever produced. Eat your heart out, Marvel Legends. You can't hold a candle to the wonderful world of Rudolph. While I don't own all these figures, I'm extremely happy to own the ones I do have. It really is a great toy line, and you can find these figures on the secondhand market. Although a little all over the place, to be honest. Some of the figures can be quite pricey. My advice is to check your local flea markets and thrift stores, because I've actually found, no joke, nearly all the figures I have from Christmas decoration lots. A lot of people put these with their Christmas decorations and don't consider them action figures. So just keep searching, you can find them out there. I guarantee you'll love these figures. Excuse me. Huh? What was that? I think you forgot one of your Rudolph action figures to review, Mr. Foxman. You can talk? How come you never talked before? Because I've never had anything interesting to say. Fair enough. You are absolutely right. Thank you, King Moonracer. I forgot to review the Bumble. I figured I wouldn't review the Bumble, since I recently did a video all about the Bumble. And you know, it was kinda lazy for Santa Claus to just give me a figure I already had. I mean, what's the point of reviewing this big guy again? But I guess he is the centerpiece of the Rudolph action figure line, and it'd be borderline criminal to not talk about this absolute unit. The Bumble action figure is just simply awesome. He was made with mixed media like the rest of the figures. He's soft and furry with the plastic bits in between, and he's given a whole armature structure so he can be posed. He really is a cool figure, and makes for an essential addition to any fan of classic Christmas cartoons, and animation in general. So there you go. Those are my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer action figures. Excuse me. It would seem I am the most misfit toy, for you have not reviewed me. But King Moonracer, you were one of the very first videos I did on this channel. I remember that unboxing like it was yesterday, and I gave you a glowing review too. As a matter of fact, I said you were the best figure of the line, which is why I guess I do need to review you again. It really would make a misfit of me to review this line and not talk about my most favorite figure, King Moonracer, ruler of the island of the misfit toys. But first, let's look at a misfit toy. This Jack-in-the-Box figure here is not particularly noteworthy, but he's still cute, so he's fun. Oh, and here we have the plane. I always thought this one was goofy. It's a plane with a face on the bottom. Let's laugh at how sad he is. And the pink polka dot elephant, which is a fun inclusion since King Moonracer really didn't need extra toys included. He's already an absolute behemoth of an action figure. He's huge, he's fully articulated, and he's made with mixed media. It's actually amazing how much material is on this one figure. He's got rubber wings, he's got a felt body, and he's got hair for the mane, and a plastic nose and eyes, and crown. So it's plastic, it's fabric, it's felt. It's really, really amazing. There's a lot going on with this figure, and of all the Rudolph figures, he feels the most like the puppet from the show came to life. And I love that they made this character. King Moonracer is so cool, and I would have not expected him in this line. But the commitment to make a flocked King Moonracer figure just shows the scope, quality, and care that was put into this line. Looking back on these figures was a lot of fun, and helped me visit the world of Rudolph and Rankinbass. If you have so much as an ounce of holiday cheer, you owe buying yourself some of these figures. But wait a second, I got all these cool Rudolph figures. How come I didn't get an action figure of Santa Claus? That cookie was for Comet and Vixen? -1 nice point. Try again next year. I didn't know there was a point system. Well, this makes me sad. Guess I'll just have to eat more cookies. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful Christmas season. Happy holidays. Bye.